So hey guys, welcome to the channel CodeChef. If you want to learn competitive programming and get a good hold on data structures and algorithms, this is the prime platform for you. Every week there are several videos on the concepts of data structures and algorithms, as well as various videos which will enhance your skills in competitive programming. You can also find the editorials of the CodeChef challenges on this particular channel. So stay tuned to the channel and turn on the bell notification. Myself Chirayu Jain, I'm a CodeChef educator. And in this series we are going to learn about disjoint set union, and the topic of the particular video is introduction to disjoint set union. Let's get started. Okay guys, so now let us understand about this disjoint sets, right? So further we'll be learning the disjoint set union algorithm as well. So it is worth noting about disjoint sets that what are these and why this is very helpful in certain optimizations, right? So first of all, let's go to the quick definition of it, that this data structure is very helpful for determining if a node belongs to a component or not. So what is a component, right? It is a group of nodes, right, which are connected to each other. So if you see here that this 1 is connected to 3 and this 4 is connected to 3, right? So this makes up a one component. Similarly, if you see here, this 5 is connected to 6 and this 7 is also connected to 6, right? So this also makes a one component, right? These are two separate components. So what is disjoint set? These sets, the combination of nodes which are connected to each other, are disjoint in nature. What are disjoint? That the element which is present in one set is not present in the other set, right? So if you see here, the second important step, that set are disjoint here, right? We require that the element that is not already present in some other set. So for each and every component or disjoint set we can refer, we require an element which is not already present in the other set, right? So this is what a typical definition of disjoint set is. So now we will see that how it is important, how it is very important to know about disjoint sets when we are just referring to certain algorithms which will help us to determine whether a node is present in some component or not, right? What are the different components that we have, right? What are the different disconnected components that we have? So this algorithm is quite helpful here, right? So when what are the applications of this particular thing? If you see about the Kruskal's algorithm detecting a cycle or various other problems in competitive programming, this is very helpful to solve those particular problems. Now what we need to do here, the main objective of these videos on DSU is to understand that whenever we are given two nodes, we can be easily able to identify that whether the nodes are present in the same component or they are present in the different component, right? Whenever we have been given that we need to join two nodes, we should be able to know that how we can join the two components if the nodes are present in the different components, right? If they're present in the same component, then it is already it is already a one component. But when the nodes are present in the different components, then we can easily be able to join those two components, right? So that is the major thing here. And the other major thing is that what is the time complexity involved in this, right? So further we will study about all of this. Now let us try to understand what the DSU is, disjoint set union, with the help of an example, and let's clear out the things. Okay guys, so now let us begin with the understanding of disjoint sets. Now let us understand what is disjoint set union algorithm is all about, right? So first of all, if we want to know the connected components inside a graph, so first of all, the thing is we will all consider all the nodes as isolated, right? So it is very important to note here that we will consider all the nodes initially as isolated, right? That means that each and every node is connected to himself only. The node is only the parent of itself, right? So that is one thing. So let us forget about this particular graph or the particular connected components which are forming. Let us assume that these all nodes, right, A, B, C, D, right, these are the isolated nodes that we have as of now, connected to itself, right? Like this, right? These are the isolated nodes. Now we have been certain edge that is given to us, and we need to form, right, a graph. So how we will form the graph and how we will know that okay, these are the connected components that we have. This is the end result that we are getting, right? As of now, what we have is only the nodes, and we know that these are the isolated nodes that we have, right? So first of all, we have considered here, right? Now we are forming the collections of disjoint sets, right? We are forming the disjoint sets, right? And at last we'll get the answer. But as of now, what we have seen that their initial set, all the nodes are isolated: A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, right? All these nodes are isolated. That means they do not have a connection with any other node. Now when I have introduced my edge 1, that is B comma D, that means that I need to bring out the B node and the D node together, right? So how can I bring it together, right? So basically I'll include these two nodes in one set, one single set, right? So this is the B node, this is the D node. I'll include in this one set and let B be the parent of it, right? We can make the parent anyone, right? Whenever we have a certain amount of nodes which are equal, right? So we can make parent anyone. But generally, whenever we have the different number of nodes, right, then generally what we prefer is that we'll make the parent as the node which is associated with a bigger component. So we'll understand in details when we are going to understand the disjoint set union by rank and with path compression as well, right? So we'll understand that particular thing in detail, but here I'm explaining you that how we are forming the disjoint set. So we have taken this B and D together, and D collapses from this particular thing, right? Because it was the only isolated node, right? And this is the second line which we have achieved by taking this step into consideration, this edge into consideration. The next edge is E comma G, right? So what we need to do, we need to bring out E and G together, right? So this is E and this is G. So we have made E and G together, right? And now this is one particular set after this edge is added, right? Similarly, we'll follow for all the edges, that is A and C. We have brought A and C together because these two also are isolated nodes. So this is forming this set. So these are the three sets which we have achieved at this stage. Now with the involvement of H and I, we have seen that H and I are also isolated nodes, so they are also forming a set, right? And at last, what is this A and B, right? So we have seen that A has already paired with A and B. So A has already paired with C, and B, where is B? So B has already paired with D. So what we will do, we'll combine these two. So now what is the combination of these two sets? That is A, B, C and D. So this is one bigger set that is formed, right? Now E and F are combined, right? So E is this particular E is associated with this particular set, and F is isolated set that we have. So we have combined this, and now EFG is the final set that we have made after adding this edge, right? Now the last edge that we have is B and C, right? So B and C are already associated with each other in this component, so we are not doing anything, right? They are not a part of different components, right? Since they are part of the same component, that means that they belong to a certain component only. That's why we will not do anything, right? So after adding this edge, if you see here that we have achieved the end result, this is our end result, right? These many components we will have. So if we draw the graphical structure of these particular sets, so it will be like that, right? So this is one single component, this is the other component, and this is the other component, and this is one isolated node, and we'll take it as a component. So in all, how many components do we have? That is 4 components, right? So this is typically what the working of disjoint set union is theoretically, but we'll see how we can understand it better and how we can implement this obviously we'll see. And there are two things which are much closely associated with this. That is, one thing is we need to union it, right? Suppose we have been given that okay, I need to union these two nodes, so the component of A and component of C, and we'll try to merge it. This is one thing. And the second thing is we need to find that which node, this node, let us say that any other thing like B comma C or E comma J, any node, which node belongs to either they are having they are in the similar component or they are in the different component. That also we can find using this, right? So this is quite simple, right? It will be very simple if we understand the basic logic of it, right? But more or less the concept is same, that what we are doing is whenever we are taking an edge, then we are checking that how we can merge these two components, and if they are already present in the same component, then we do nothing, right? So this is the essence of disjoint set union, right? And again, it is very important to understand because it will be quite helpful in many problems of competitive programming as well as various algorithms as well, right? So this is more or less the thing associated with disjoint set union. Optimization, that is union by rank, and path compression, which we'll see in the further videos to understand it properly, right? And we'll also code it.